Welcome to Bet99's The Parleh Show, in studio in Toronto, live on YouTube. Rob Conway, Justin Pooni, Shawn McCormick, and Matthew Barnaby. Everyone's here. We got a packed house and we got a packed show coming up. How's everyone doing though? Good?
I'm great.
Yeah?
A lot better than a couple days ago, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Weather's kind of shit today, but
Yeah, it's a little meh.
yeah.
We're not
Whatever.
golfing, so
We're not golfing, yeah.
it's okay.
We're not golfing. So
Good
that's
for the grass.
That's not a problem.
Golfing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Golfing tomorrow.
Yes.
Big Bet99 VIP tournament tomorrow. Barney will be there. Sean, you'll be there. Albert will be there. I'll be there, Justin.
Somebody's got to hold down in the fort.
Someone has to host the show.
Somebody's got to pay the bills. You know. Somebody's gotta pay the bills. Make sure
So we appreciate you, Justin, for taking one for the team, being here tomorrow. Jays big win last night. We're talking about our guy Olivier Aubin-Mercier fighting the PFL semis tonight, looking to get to the finals and another $1 million paycheck. We're remembering Super Bowl, and I was just joking with Barney, XLIX, as if I'm supposed to know Roman numerals off the top of my head. I think it's 46.
You don't know X-Lix?
40. Super Bowl 49.
49.
49.
Oh, yeah, another X there. I with an X, and yeah, okay. So, Super Bowl 49, you know it well for all the wrong reasons, but we'll be talking a bit about that, Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, some news there as well. But we were golfing on Monday, Barney, and we decided to have two matches, which is a stupid thing to do. So we played against each other.
I never decided to have two matches. That's where this all went.
My uncle said we had to play them. We gave them 2 shots a hole, which we got absolutely sandbagged off the first tee. There was literally 2 holes where they went eagle. Not like naturally, but they got 2 shots. They both made a par. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, well, they're 4 under there.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should have just played better. Played better?
We're not on tour.
Yeah, even if they were, it's a 390-yard par 4. Am I holding
lane
out?
0.
Yeah, it's craziness. But so the problem with doing that is, you know, say we need to make a birdie putt to win the hole, but I need to make a 2-putt to beat Barney on the hole, then do I go for the birdie or do I leg it? So then 1 putt, I go for it, I miss it, it goes 3 feet by, and this guy won't give me the comebacker for our match.
Not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Because he's my teammate for the first putt, but not a teammate
I
for the
didn't
second.
care about the match with your uncle and dad. First of all, you guys are crooks, all of you, the whole family. That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
Like staying at the house, playing golf with them, they are crooks. It should have been null and void after the first hole. First hole took 45 minutes with these guys.
45.
I don't know what these other 2 guys were doing.
Under protest.
Under protest. Yeah, you have to declare it. It was under protest. 45 minutes, we didn't see these guys. We were on the green chipping and putting by ourselves. We went to the next tee box. Again, they're just hanging out by the green. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man?
They picked it up, though. They
got better.
Yeah.
They got better.
It was a slow start.
It was a very slow start. I was like, we're not even going to get through 9 holes.
Yeah, I figured we played 9 today and then 9 the next day.
But I'm 1 up in the match. I think
going in on 8.
On 8. But so I'm about to go 2 up. But the hole before, Rob played the wrong ball.
Oh, God.
Played the wrong ball.
You can't play the...
And he writes down a par. Like he beats
nah.
me on the hole. Like I should have been 3 up. It mentally got with me. And then he signs an incorrect scorecard because obviously he said he was 3 up or 2. But
So here's the deal.
in the end,
Here's the deal. My playing partner, Barney, and also enemy on the golf course for Monday, said to me I rolled into the rough. So I walk over to where I thought my ball was, and I found a ball, and not a ball, a Titleist Pro V, which is what I was playing. And I did not look at it close enough, and I hit from behind a tree a little draw wedge to like 8 feet, and then I didn't even think about the ball in the fairway because I didn't think it was mine. And then my uncle went up there, and he was like pocketing a Pro V, thinking, you know, he hit the lottery. And I'm like, what ball is that? And he goes, it's a Pro V1 Titleist 2. I go, that's my ball. And Barney's like, oh, here we go.
Well, you guys made the big mistake, firstly, of doing 2 different sets of matches, wagers,
within
whichever.
one, yeah.
I mean, when you do that, that's automatically like a strike. Because now you're like, don't know what to do with yourself. You're competing against Barney, but you're on his team, so you hate him, but you love him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he feels that way about you all the time.
No, there was no love. The second part, yes, hate. And he said it. He hit the wrong ball and proceeded to write down a par.
But I beat you 4 and 3, so I beat you 3 and 2.
I think you got to go back in time there and like you would replay the shot. Obviously, it's tough to do if there's people behind you. And
There was no one behind us.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah,
That would be my suggestion to get it away from the
The
protest.
ball was there. I could have run back and played him. Barney goes, it doesn't matter. You were in a worse spot before, is what you said, until I beat him. And then it was, it's under protest now. Yeah. At the time, he was 1 up rolling, thinking, I'm going to crush this guy anyways. And my favorite thing, too, was you're 1 up after 8, and on 9, we both hit it in the water off the tee. Then I hit it in the water on my second shot. So now I'm dropping 5. And I said to Barney, you hit it anywhere in some green stuff, and I'll
it's
give
good.
you the hole.
And I hit it in the water. I hit it so far left to block, and I forgot there was water over there. It hit the cart path. It hit I'm like, and then I have
So I got up and down for 6, and I didn't even finish.
All right, let's get to the Jays.
Yeah, all right. Well, it was a great time. We're going to have a great time tomorrow as well in the Bet99 VIP tournament, and we'll be talking a bit more about that when we get back on the show next week. But the Jays yesterday, what a game that was. Had the early lead a little bit. I wouldn't say dicey. Look, Kikuchi's not going to be great forever, but he had an okay start for a while, and then was a Grayson Rodriguez kind of, right of the ship there, and he ended up going pretty deep into it. But 3-3 going into extras, and MVP Brandon Belt steps up, first pitch swinging, and goes deep, and then they end up getting another bonus run after a double from Vladdy and a wild pitch. So 6-3 final against a team they just absolutely cannot beat, Sean. But in the end, Mariners and Houston both win, and you're still a game out. Got to be frustrating there, but you got to have a lot of positives beating the Orioles.
All you got to do is worry about yourself, keep winning. There's 36 games or so left in the season, so that's what the Jays got to do first and foremost, is just worry about yourself, keep winning. Like you said, Brandon Belt yesterday, another home run. Dalton Varsho, another home run. These are two guys that at the beginning of the year, everybody crapped on them. What are they doing on the team? They're underperforming to start a little bit, but now you see why they were brought on. It's just they're good hitters. They can hit the ball out of the park. I think Varsho had 27 home runs last season. Belt is the second best hitter statistically on the team right now, behind Bo Bichette by only 3 OPS points. So, they've got another tough game today against the Orioles, and now you're 3-8 against them on the season. I favor the pitching matchup for tonight for the Jays too. So we'll see where it goes.
And I think that game was won in the 9th inning there. That play by Bo Bichette. I mean, that's a play that 2 years ago you never would have thought he ever would have done. And now this is why this guy could be an MVP one day if he can play at a premium position like that and make a play like that. It was unbelievable pickup and turn and throw to get the out. And then still almost lost when the ball was fouled by a foot. But still, that was an unbelievable play.
Yeah, and I think also the other thing for me, the biggest takeaway was the bullpen. What a great performance by the bullpen. What did they do? They allowed only 2 hits. And then no runs, 6 strikeouts, right? After Irsay Kikuchi, like you mentioned, didn't have his best. It was the first time since July he's allowed over more than 2 runs, which, is very good.
Yeah, his ERA was like a buck and change over the last 3 months.
He's been unbelievable.
He's going to have
as
an
you
issue.
mentioned, it was bound to happen. He was going to fall back to earth a bit, but the bullpen stepped up, right? The bullpen kept it close until the bats, like you mentioned, Brandon Belt in the 10th inning, got the home run. And that's something, like you said, John Schneider played like a playoff-style baseball game. He went to his bullpen a lot earlier than expected, and it paid off in a big way, and it gave that bullpen a whole lot of confidence going forward where, they can chew up a whole lot of innings in case a starter can't go 7 innings, of which we've been seeing lately from the Toronto Blue Jays.
It didn't, though, right? I mean, because, Jimmy Garcia came in and gives up that double. That made it a 3-3 game. A great play by, again, Varsho throwing the ball back in when he did, but I don't know. I didn't like the move there. I didn't like them going away from Kikuchi. He was only at 82 pitches or something like that.
He was clearly pissed off for getting pulled.
Yeah, and he's been pulled a few times. Barrios has been pulled a few times.
And they'd been giving him the leash, and they didn't. And I think Justin made a good point. They're playing like a playoff game, because if that was game 1 of a series, he's gone. You can't wait.
Yeah, but what else does he have to do to earn your manager's trust? Yeah, I know baseball's a little different. A couple of those balls were hard hit. Westberg, who was up next, had equal splits. He hits about 265 against righties, 270 against lefties. So I just wanted to see them, give him that chance, because I don't know what's going on with Schneider. I've said it a lot. I'm questionable about how he handles the bullpen. Obviously, it backfired there for a second. Obviously, Kikuchi could have given up a home run.
Sure.
For all we know, right? You can't go what ifs and could haves and should haves. But I don't know. I just wanted to, you don't want to anger your pitchers, and I feel like he's done enough to earn a bit of a leash with
you could have said if ifs and buts were candy.
That's a huge win, though, just mentally for a team.
Yeah.
Against a team you've struggled against, to find a way to win that game, split the next 2, you win the series, and then it gets a lot easier on paper. You still have to play the games and do that, but I think the way they win can really galvanize a team, and all right, that's one we probably should have lost or could have lost. We find a way to win against a team that's really had our number, and I just think those are the kind of games you can build on and start a big streak.
I agree, and that's the thing. You know, your Seattle Mariners have 2 8-game winning streaks, sandwiching a 3-game losing streak. It's craziness how good they're
Well,
playing.
you look at Seattle. They were 50-50. Now they're a game behind the Rangers for the division lead. So we were talking the other day about the Jays might not have control their own destiny. There's another team that's now involved in this mix, and the Texas Rangers now, where that whole AL West, right? The Rangers are now going to be involved in that wild card chase now too, and
Could be.
that's something that the Jays have to be careful because it might be another team they have to leap. So a big win, important win, but they're not out of the woods by far.
Oh no, they're not even in a spot yet, let alone out of the woods. I agree with you though. It was a big win, and tonight Gosman against Cosmo Kramer on the mound. So the Jays are actually a favorite here on the road against the AL East leading Baltimore Orioles, who might be the best team in the AL. It's crazy that I know it's pitching, and pitching matters, but Kramer does have 11 wins. He's got a 4.50 ERA, but they seem to win when he's on the mound. You can't bet the Jays as a favorite against Baltimore, can you, Barney?
Parleh.
Parleh.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, right.
I think you can, again, because Gosman is just that upper echelon pitcher.
He was
right?
bad last time out, but so you expect to have a good one here. You expect him to have a good one.
Last time out against Baltimore, especially, he went 4 1/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. But he pitched masterfully against them back in May, 8 innings of 2-run balls. So I don't have any issues with Kevin Gosman. Obviously, he's the ace of the staff, and I'm not concerned. Like you did say about Dean Kramer there, 4.50 ERA. His underlying numbers suggest about the same. The only thing I don't like that for the Jays is that he throws like 5 or 6 pitches, keeps them like 35% of the time for the fastball. So you don't know what he's going to go up and throw. He's mixing it up, and you're going to keep the Jays hitters on their toes, and we'll see if they can stay disciplined and not swing at the bad pitches.
What do you think, Justin?
Other thing I thought about in my head was this game kind of masked the fact that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. continues to struggle a bit.
No, just in key spots perhaps, but I mean,
Look,
he had a couple hits yesterday.
He did have a couple hits yesterday. He's batting 268, but
That's fine.
I don't see the pop anymore from Vladdy anymore off that bat. And I think we haven't really talked about it enough, right?
No, I don't think we have, and the reason we haven't is because Bo Bichette has kind of taken that throne there and let him off the hook. He haven't had to been the best player on the
This
team.
is the guy that we're talking about getting a $300 million contract.
$400 million contract for sure, and now you're thinking $250
You
at the
can't
max.
let a guy off the hook because another guy's playing well.
Well, I think that's why people aren't talking as much, because they're winning and Bo's the guy now.
Yeah, well, they aren't winning. They aren't.
They're 14 games above 500.
Yeah, but I mean,
relatively
they're not in
speaking.
first place.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
They're in first place.
They
you're not
could
talking
use
about.
another
They could use another
all-star
bat.
Yeah, they could. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. No, I agree with you. But like, what do you do? Like, if you're the Jays, Barney, like, how are you going to spend that money? You're going to save probably $20 million with Matt Chapman. I don't think he's coming back. He's going to command way too much money. Do you try and ink Vladdy now that you think maybe you can get him on a down year and maybe at a little cheaper contract, or is it too risky because maybe he's not that guy from 2021?
I'd try to ink him for less money for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he still has belief in himself, and in a down year, he's not going to sign a long-term deal if they're going to nickel and dime him, right? So you're going to pay a premium to get him, even after a down year. So I see more of a short-term deal for them because they aren't going to pay him the money he wants. I see a shorter-term deal for a little less money, and he hits the market again.
Cover the ARB years or whatever.
Yeah, he's got a couple more years of arbitration. So
yeah,
I mean, again, you look back 2 years, and we've seen the ebbs and flow of just hitters and streakiness of great players, right?
Yeah.
I think Vladimir Guerrero is a great player. Still like top 30 in the league in most categories, top 40. Maybe not living up to expectations this season, but still, top tier baseball player. I think you wait and see because you still have the control on him for a couple of years. You don't have to make that hard decision. He might get a bit of a raise, but because of arbitration too, you can be like, well, you didn't play as well as you did last season or the season before that. So, maybe it's still another $14.5 million for him next year. So wait and see. I think
Just design him as a running back. Just give him a 1-year deal for the rest of his life.
Derrick Henry style.
Yeah. But I think when you look at Vlad, like that one, was it 2021 he finished second?
Yeah.
That might just be an albatross year for him, right? That might have just been his high
It's
water
just that
mark.
he was generational prospect, so you would
Exactly,
expect
right?
that he did show it once that it would be not an outlier, but it might be. You might be right.
It might be an outlier, and I think that's just not being talked about enough. Where, if he's supposed to be that guy, the face of the Toronto Blue Jays,
You got to be that guy.
You got to be that guy. Like he has 18 home runs this year. He's projected to hit 23.
That's nothing.
That's not good enough.
No.
That's not good enough.
Especially when you're playing a corner infield position
Exactly.
too. As long as he's a shortstop up the middle who's got a maybe bats 350. Like you need power from that position.
Absolutely, and we
And
haven't
he's
seen
just
it.
It could be like a bit of a difference too in philosophies for the past teams. Like obviously you want Vladimir Guerrero hitting home runs, and you want the team hitting home runs. You don't go up there not trying to hit home runs, but they are playing a little bit more smaller this year, stealing bases, a lot of singles, trying to move the runner along. Obviously can't score with runners in scoring position for some reason. I don't know. Like even yesterday, I think it was Joe Siddle who had a comment about how his swing was like inside out, so it was almost like a slice trying to get it to the opposite field. Maybe again just to find those gaps. Like Bo always hits opposite field. Obviously he has opposite field power, so does Vladdy. But again, I'm not concerned. Nobody on the Jays has really been hitting for power, and
No.
I can't explain why.
Well, they're paying him for power, not to steal bases.
Yeah.
that's definitely true.
And you know what? Like, look, was it before the 2020 season? I think I know it was the COVID year or whatever. But coming into camp, there's questions about his weight or whatever, and he came in ready to go, right?
Yeah.
And then he had an amazing 2021, and he was fine in 2020. So one thing I will say about that is, I think if he needs to work on something, he's gonna do it, right? He does seem like that kind of a guy. There was questions about whether he would be that guy, and he answered those questions a few years ago. So I'm not worried about, whether or not if he needs to work on his swing, if there's issues that he won't do it over the offseason. It's just, projections are projections. Should he have been the highest rated offensive prospect in history? Maybe he shouldn't have been. Maybe he's more a victim of expectation as opposed to really, being that bad of a player. But those numbers the year that Shohei was MVP, I mean, those were MVP numbers in any other year where, the greatest baseball player of all
ever
time
lived,
is playing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see about Vladdy. Obviously, he's going to get more than enough runway on this team before they were to close up shop on him. So, and he deserves it. But let's head over to the NFL. We're getting close, man.
Oh.
This weekend's
Very,
college
very close.
football, week 0, then week 1, and then it's NFL time. I am so excited. I know you're.
What was it? 15 days away?
What is
September
September
7th.
7th? So we have
I think it was 20.
Yeah, about 15. Yeah.
About 15?
15
something
days.
like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
something
Because
like
what?
that.
This is the
Something.
23rd today. Yeah. 15.
You're going to New York.
I am going for the opener, yeah.
You're going to watch the Bills win.
Don't even start. You're insane.
It's the best because I actually
You're
want
in-
the Jets to win, but I just rather.
You're absolutely insane. A few weeks ago, saying they're probably going to be 0-6.
We had
I didn't say they're 0-6.
We kind of did. We were saying we
said
wouldn't be
it's
surprised if
it's
they
a
were.
tough. It's a tough
It's-
opening stretch.
They
for
have
them.
the toughest opening 6 weeks.
It's unreal. Like the Broncos are the easiest one, and if somehow Sean Payton and Russell Wilson figure it out, they're a legit team. right?
Yeah. No, they are, but like
Which I don't think
they're
will,
only
by the way.
1.5 point dogs against the Bills.
Sorry, Sean.
They're 1.5 point dogs
On the
against
road.
the Bills at home.
Oh,
Jets are at home.
sorry, the Jets are home.
No,
Yeah. Okay,
It's
yeah.
now
So
2.5. They're 2.5 point dogs.
it moved
according
now.
to Bet99.
Oh,
They're
because
2.5.
it opened at 3, it went
Yeah.
to 1.5.
So
and
on
then
a neutral field, they're a 5-point dog against the Bills. I don't think they're 5 points worse than the Bills. I think
they're
just
3 points.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
Bills are a little better, but
Yeah.
listen, if the Jets beat them, I mean, I don't want to go. You've heard it over and over this week because it's just ludicrous. I feel like I have to pound it down your head. They
I
could
prefer
have.
if you just do that figuratively and
They
not literally.
they could have the best D in the league.
Yes.
Like their front four
Yeah.
are as good as anyone. If their offensive line holds up, and everyone's been talking about their offensive line, that's not their offensive line. That's their backups that have been playing. Like all their top players, Thomason and Vera Tucker and Becton now, they're all back. They might have the best running backs in the league. Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Michael Carter. You got Sauce Gardner, who with DJ Reed might be the best. Like they have some of the best at every position.
Sure.
At every single
Wow.
position.
I still don't believe you on running backs, but just because they haven't shown it.
No,
But,
I will.
yeah.
Breece Hall's proven last year that he's a home run hitter. It's just how is he going to recover from that knee injury, right? That's
He
the
looks
big,
great. He looks
He
amazing.
looks great in practice.
Yes,
right.
true.
Right, Michael Carter. He filled in well last
Yep.
year. Of course, how's Dalvin Cook going to fit into this new offensive system? But the offensive line, like you mentioned, I'm not too worried about the offensive line. I'm worried about how's the meshing of Aaron Rodgers and these new wide receivers going to be because. I saw a video yesterday
Yeah, I
of
saw that
Randall
too.
Cobb
Yeah.
saying if he doesn't trust you, he's not going to throw you the ball. So if he's only going to throw the ball to Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard, what's the point then, right? So, I mean, the Jets, there's there's so much like.
Well, there's so much pressure on them.
There's so much pressure
But
on them.
if there's one guy that I think can deal with it and bring the rookies to, and it looks like they're embracing it, is Aaron Rodgers. He's not a top 5 QB anymore, but he's top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Not
he's
even
top.
close.
He's
Yeah.
top 10.
Easy.
He the way that he can manage a game, the way he can change the game. Now you can't stack the box against him. Listen, the AFC is just
It's amazing.
It's a gauntlet.
Murderer's row.
It's unbelievable. Like no one's even talking about Cincinnati.
No, I know.
No one's even talking about Cincinnati.
Baltimore.
Baltimore,
Chargers.
Kansas City, obviously.
Pittsburgh looks good this year too,
Yeah, like-
right? Another year with Kenny Pickett. Can the Browns and Deshaun Watson finally muster something? Look, they spend all that money. They have a really good roster in Cleveland. Like, there's something there.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. This
Jacksonville.
is
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Right?
It's just-
I'm excited to see what Anthony Richardson can do without Jonathan Taylor now, apparently. So.
Wait till you
Yeah,
see
speaking
my,
of which,
wait till you see my outfit week 1, and then when we go to the Bills, November 19th.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to troll every Bills fan if we're up.
Fireman Barney. entering the
Oh
building.
yeah, come on, Ed.
We might
come
be
on, Ed.
we might be doing a bus trip down there if we do one, and I'll be getting a hotel room if the Jets win, because you're not getting back on that bus with those Bills fans for the next 2 hours,
Oh.
because you won't make it out of there alive.
Well, I'll take a couple down with me.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. Just, you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered.
I actually, when I go to the games and I wear my Jet stuff, like I'm decked from shoes all the way to the hat and everything. Literally, anyone that recognizes me, it's like traitor, and then they throw popcorn and they throw crap at me all over. You traitor! I'm like, dude, I've been a fan since I've been 12 years old. I've had 38 years of misery. When I'm coming into that stadium now with a chance to win, because every time I go, there's no chance we're winning. Now we got a chance. Look at you wearing your green today.
I got the
too.
mean green on.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Yeah. Does that come
From
in
the
large?
Jets. No.
No. Okay.
No. It's Kim's. So we got Jonathan Taylor news.
Yes.
You were bringing that up, and we're bringing up all those teams. And you're talking about how the Jets have the best running game, or could have, right? Well, you throw Jonathan Taylor not on the Jets because they can't, but you throw him somewhere, and that's going to immediately make your team that much better. And does it look like what do you think? Is he going somewhere?
There's
Justin,
3
or?
teams I have my eyes on. It's
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins are number 1. I think if the Dolphins, now they don't have the whole bunch of cap space, but if you can find a way to make it work so you can have Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Jonathan Taylor in Mike McDaniel's system, the Kyle Shanahan system, watch out.
Yeah.
And if Tua gets healthy,
I'm hoping for Tua.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Tua.
explosive. The other team is the Chicago Bears. They have a bunch of cap space. The only thing is, you know how dynamic Justin Fields is out of the backfield. And if you add Jonathan Taylor to that, does that take touches away from Justin Fields? Because he's a really good runner, right? But then again, he's Jonathan Taylor. He's one of the best backs in football. And the last one, just imagine Jonathan Taylor to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, that's just unfair.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't know.
just
If,
saying.
I don't know if they can muster the cap.
No, they
space,
can
but-
because look, Mahomes' deal allows them to have a whole lot of flexibility restructuring wise,
Yeah.
and Mahomes has been willing to restructure before.
Sure.
I just don't want him in Buffalo.
But you like.
Yeah.
I
that's
don't
true.
want him in Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean,
And I don't think they have the cap space to be able to do it either.
And Buffalo's got a couple nice young backs there too. I mean, one in James Cook, and then I guess it's Latavius Murray after that. So maybe not a young back in Latavius Murray. I agree with you with the Dolphins and the Bears. Again, I think it's more likely for the Bears just because they can afford him. Because wherever Jonathan Taylor wants to go, which is the whole reason for this fiasco, is he wants a contract.
He's going to need someone has to trade for him and pay for him.
Isn't it
Yeah.
unbelievable though? Because when we do fantasy and we do all these things and teams look, you need a great running back.
Yeah.
But you want your guy to be great until he wants to get paid,
He wants money.
Yeah.
and then you're like, well, we don't really need a running back.
Yeah.
And you do. You need to be able to run the ball to set up the pass and vice versa. Both go hand in hand, but you could be the best in your position, and they just don't want to pay you.
Well, we
Everyone
saw it in the
else.
Giants. They were willing to pay $40 million to Danny Dimes
Yeah.
and not pay Saquon Barkley, which is just madness.
The offense is Saquon.
Yeah, it's
Like-
madness to me.
It's like that. It was kicking and screaming. Give the ball to the Italians. Like that.
Will Ferrell's
Give the
Will
movie.
Ferrell,
yeah,
Like, what's our game plan? Oh, if you have an open shot, what do? I take the shot. No, get it to the Italians. That's how we're gonna win. That's the only way the New York Giants have a chance at winning is to hand the ball to number 26.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs still without a contract too, right? And so I liked your points, but I'm just gonna say he just stays in Indianapolis because there's just the price is too high because like you were just saying too,
want a
Rob,
first
it's
round
like
pick.
they want a first round pick for him, which is fine, that's true, but now if I'm trading to you, Barney, like you're giving me draft capital and then you have to sign him, which like that's too much for most teams to give up. So
Colts were the last team to trade a first-round pick for running back for Trent Williams, remember? And how did that?
Oh, Trent Richardson.
Trent Richardson. Trent Williams was the last.
And like
the thing is, he's worth a first-round pick.
100%.
But I don't think anyone's going to give it unless it's in the bottom third of the league.
Yeah.
Just 2 years ago, 332 carries for 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns. Like, nuts.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously he's dealing with a bit of an ankle. Maybe. Yeah, he is dealing with a bit of an
and
ankle.
they had an
Don't
unbelievable.
want to say if you look at Breece Hall's numbers, if he had 300 carries, his number would
is
be in like
6.2 yards per carry,
2,000 over 2,000 yards and 18 TDs.
When he gets to 300 carries, we'll redo the math.
I don't know if he's gonna get 300 carries.
He's definitely
not back.
He's absolutely he's not.
And
He's not.
and who needs the running back like Jonathan Taylor? The Colts.
Yeah.
Right? So like I don't know.
I think they're like
I think they're
go
screwed.
try to find yourself a trade and someone that's going to give you
what you want.
18 million a year.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Not happening.
It's not happening.
It's not. It's going to be tough for him, but like I say, such an elite talent. You've got to think we always say that, oh, this contract's this too much money, and then yet in every other league it seems the person gets paid, and you go, well, they're going to regret that, and yet here in the NFL,
it's just running backs don't. They have just given up. They have said no.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to. The union is going to have to do something in free agency when they come up with the next collective bargaining agreement. Like they have to. This is the rules. This is the rules they signed off.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing. The owners aren't doing anything
it's
wrong.
Kinda like
really, but
just because you've seen so many Super Bowl winning teams get their running backs in the 7th round, the 5th round. Isaiah Pacheco was a 7th round pick last year and was a starting running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You look at Raheem Mostert when he was with San Francisco when they went to the Super Bowl, late round pick, right? When was the last time we saw for a true first round pick, bell cow running back help a team win a Super Bowl?
Or help a team win a Super Bowl.
You can't. I mean, like Seattle had Marshawn Lynch, but they traded for him after he was diminished in Buffalo. Then you had, when Denver won, they had no Sean Moreno.
They had a few running backs.
That was by committee. The Eagles had a committee when they won. The Patriots have always been a running back by committee team, right?
Yeah, James White,
LeGarrette Blunt. You can have a running game.
Well, I mean, the running game is built on great running back, sure, but most importantly, a good game plan and offensive line, right? So you need. So part of what maybe teams are worried about with Jonathan Taylor was the reason why you could bring a guy over like Matt Ryan and thought there might be some success there, or Carson Wentz, was because they had like the best O-line in the league, and he dominated with the best O-line in the league. Will he do that if he goes to a team who doesn't have it? They don't know. Well, let's find out for a year. No, thank you. I want a 3-year contract. So that's the hard part too, right?
I know how it ends. He's going to come back for week 1, and he's going to be in Indianapolis.
It's too much money to give away to not come back.
He's only made $4 million, and if he doesn't come back, he gives up $5 million. It just doesn't make any sense. Right? Financially.
No. I understand. He wants to get paid because there's a risk of getting injured.
Similar to the James Harden situation, right? Like he doesn't like it, but he'll play for the Sixers this year.
Well, yeah,
you're not going to give away your $40 million, whatever, whatever it is. And how about that? Getting fined $100,000 for like, what about free speech, man?
Doesn't exist.
Like, come on.
It's Adam Silver's NBA.
Yeah,
David Stern would have nipped this whole thing in the bud a long time ago. But, oh
well. Okay. So your team having a little issue with injuries, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
Running backs before that?
Yeah, running backs before that. But look, it's not best case scenario, but a sigh of relief that JSN's only going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. Pete Carroll said potentially could be ready for week one. But I think it's fine. The Seahawks, they have DK Metcalf, they have Tyler Lockett. They have this kid out of UCLA who's looked really good in the preseason right now. Let him take time to get ready. It's so far into training camp, and they already had OTA and stuff like that. So he's had to build reps with Geno Smith and got that rapport. Let's just make sure he's completely healthy, and because you don't want anything to linger with a wrist, especially with a wide receiver. So just take it easy, let him rest, and let him be ready. Because when he's healthy, he's looked really good this preseason. He's been a slot merchant, and I definitely think that let him take it easy, let him rest.
Garrett Wilson said before the draft, whoever gets this guy, you are getting an all-pro. This guy is a stud.
When I go through the mock drafts, I always look for 2 positions, quarterback and wide receiver, because I don't I don't know who the offensive tackle is when that's going to get picked first overall from Alabama. And, I know him, but I don't know his name.
Just watch Alabama.
I certainly don't need to read his box score or whatever to see what he was, because it's not even a box score for him, right? So it doesn't matter. So the idea with the rookie receivers coming in, it's always interesting when what they're going to be able to do. Are they on a team that has young quarterback as well. We've seen the success with that, with Joe Burrow bringing in one of his former teammates, obviously, and having a really close-knit thing there. And then it was Tua, and who was the guy that he had?
Jalen Waddle.
Waddle, right? Like, that's kind of been like the
Jalen
idea.
Hurts, Devontae Smith.
There you go,
Alabama
right?
as well.
Like, they're doing a lot of that action. So I think we have a graphic with some rookie receiving odds boards.
Yeah, just to see who has the most receiving yards this season.
Zay Flowers, you were saying you really liked him when we were watching the
Yeah.
preseason game, which, by the
looked good
way,
on Monday.
24-0. 24-1.
24-1.
Yeah.
Every streak comes to an end sometime.
Yeah.
I think Zay Flowers puts up the most.
You know what? I was hoping we'd come on here and disagree a little bit, but I actually had Zay Flowers as well.
I want to say Jackson Smith and Jigba, but because of this injury, I don't. And again, how many targets he's going to get with DK and Tyler Lockett? I like Jordan Addison because that Justin Jefferson's going to get a whole lot of double teams this year. They're going to load the box on his way, which is going to leave the other side of the field wide open for Jordan Addison,
And
right?
No more Thielen.
No more Thielen.
Dalvin
right?
Cook.
No
Right?
more
You're dealing
Dalvin
with a
Cook. So
new
they're going
running
to have
back
to
and
start airing the
not
ball a little bit more. But yeah, like you mentioned, Zayd Flowers looks really, really good in that preseason game. And if you know what, Lamar Jackson to me, I've been thinking about it the last couple days. MVP, Lamar Jackson for MVP might be a thing because I think
he's done it before.
He's done it before.
Yeah.
He's got a whole lot of weapons. It seems to me that everything you're hearing out of Baltimore is that he's getting this new offense. They're integrating things that he likes, and they're kind of forming, a good, bond there. Lamar Jackson.
He has to play football games in December.
Yes,
and if he
does.
does,
he has
has
to
a
stay
chance.
healthy, and that's up
That's
to
it.
him. He got paid all that money. He has to stay
Because
healthy.
in the last 4 years, I can't remember the exact number now, but it's like he's a handful of starts in
He's
December.
missed about 14 games.
Yeah,
Something like that.
it's just it's late in the season. It's important games. It's one thing if week 2 he's kind of hurt or whatever, but when week 13, 14, 15, 16, you got Huntley out there.
When Mahomes retires, because it's his to lose every year he goes in, he is the best quarterback. His numbers against Tom Brady's in their first 6 seasons, it's not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
No.
Remotely close. I think he goes down as the best quarterback of all time.
he has to win a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
obviously 7 Super Bowls.
I always said Peyton Manning was the greatest quarterback of all time. He just didn't win enough to be that. He's not. Tom Brady is of his generation for sure.
But I think
and
he's a better
Mahomes-
quarterback.
I think Mahomes is a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I
But-
think Peyton
Yeah,
Manning's a better
on a
So
quarterback.
do I. That's what I mean. But he has to. He has to win more to actually.
Totally agree.
Because 7 Super Bowls. It's insane.
No, it's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
On a pure talent basis, though, I don't think we've ever seen anybody like Mahomes. Just
No.
pure,
No.
strictly talent-wise.
Yeah.
He's got that running ability, but he's got the Brett Favre gunslinger, but he's also got the mindset of a Brady and a Manning where he doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
He's kind of a mix of everybody. And that's what makes him the best quarterback we potentially ever seen.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I don't disagree 100%. All right, let's quickly talk before we get into Olivier Aubin-Mercier and then Fyre Fest. We're going to talk about a little. We're going to walk down memory lane here to Super Bowl 49. Here is Pete Carroll on this play. This is recently, right?
This was yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, he's willing to talk about it now. It's not too soon. Okay.
You guys are so mad at me and so pissed. We were hurt. I couldn't hear it for years. But when we got down there, if you remember, we had one timeout. And so as soon as we got there, I said, one of these plays, we're going to have to throw it to get all 4 plays. Because I'm always in, make sure that we have a chance to get all 4 shots. Right. So we run the first play, and I think what happened is Bill's late. He sends in the goal line team, and we had already sent in 11.
Right.
That went through the play callers, and that's what led them to throw it on that down.
Right.
It had nothing to do with anything else.
Right.
We've practiced it a million times. It was just the way we had prepared. So I was rock solid on the philosophy of it. It just was the worst play that could ever happen, at any other place. It was just as catastrophic as any moment could be. But the thing was, had we won that game, we'd have won the next year. We'd have won again because we went back to the playoffs anyway.
He's not lying. They would have won the next year.
Yeah.
They would have three-peated for sure. That play right there, it's the biggest what if.
So let me.
You have Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Look, I know, and I remember where I was when that happened, how I felt when it happened, how my soul left my body.
When he turned it over there.
Listen,
I jumped out of my seat.
I was happy. I was like, I was so depressed. I'm sitting watching this game, and I was losing a lot of money if that happened.
Yeah.
And it happened. I've never jumped up. I think I
hit the roof.
I went everywhere. Shots for everyone.
Anyway,
it was awesome.
Go ahead.
Look,
So we had a great time. What
I'm glad you guys had a great time. I'm glad we didn't run the footage of it because that would have drove another stake to my heart.
Man.
But I'm glad Pete Carroll finally acknowledged that he messed up his defense. That iconic defense. That defense was never the same after that play because they resented Pete Carroll. forever because even though he said in the interview there's no optics, that they weren't trying to make Russell Wilson the MVP or whatever, and I get the whole philosophy of it, but the fact that he finally admitted to Richard Sherman, because these two had a bad beef for a while, Earl Thomas and him, and now you're finally starting to see all these old guys come back. It's funny, they all come back after Russell Wilson left, which is kind of tell all tale there, but the fact that Pete Carroll acknowledged that it ruined the relationship, that to me was okay. You know what? I can take that. I can accept that. But he's right. They would have three-peated had they just.
I don't understand that. So they destroy the Broncos, who I was a Manning fan. So a tough one for you, tough one for me as well. Then they win that, then they lose, and now you're saying just because they lost, they all of a sudden they
would have three-peated for sure.
Well, why?
Because that team was so good and they were all intact.
What happened? What went different?
What happened was they didn't run the ball.
No, I know so if they win.
They win, they three-peat.
And they keep the team together.
Why don't they win 2 out of 3? Oh, you're saying because now the team was so mad.
They were so mad.
Oh,
and
my
the defense
goodness.
resented Pete Carroll so much. So much.
You think the offense would
You think I'm a fan of the Jets?
They resented Pete Carroll so much. And it's like we saw last year. Remember when Richard Sherman freaked out on TV when in the Colts Broncos game, was it? Or when he started freaking out about running the damn ball after.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's still
Run
ingrained
the damn ball.
Exactly. So I think when you look at this, isn't
it unbelievable though? Russell Wilson, great quarterback. He was awesome in Seattle. Known as a bad teammate, not hanging around with the guys. And I think it was Richard Sherman that said it, and I could be wrong with the name, but he was on an interview and he's like, "Well, why don't you text or give Russell a call?" He's like, "We don't have his number."
That was Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch.
He said that you have to go through
his
Russell Wilson's agent to talk to him.
And now, because Denver's taking over and Sean Payton's there, everyone talks about how great a leader and a teammate Russell Wilson is.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone ever come in and say, he's a horrible teammate? Like, no. Optics.
Yeah, that whole Seattle Seahawks team has said that they resent Russell Wilson a bit because whether Pete Carroll liked or not, it felt like he was above criticism of everybody else. And we get it, quarterbacks get special treatment, but we heard for years that Bill Belichick would ream out Tom Brady in front of everybody. So if Tom Brady can get reamed out, hell, anybody can get reamed out by the coach.
100%. Right? I thought you were giving me the Russell Wilson treatment yesterday when I was texting you and trying to find out where you were.
I was trying to find out where I was too.
My wife's like, he probably doesn't need to tell people what he's doing. I said, he's a guest in the house. I have to know if he's coming home. That's all.
I literally felt like it was like I was at the Bernie Nichols
Were the
tournament.
streetlights on? Or?
Great question.
He was staying at a hotel.
I did play with.
tournament.
It was pretty funny though. I played with Matt Duchene's dad. What a beauty this guy is. A weapon. Called him a weapon all day long. But literally, it was like my dad checking in with me. Hey, are you gonna be home tonight, son? Like, no.
Okay, and that was fine. I said to you, I didn't care if you were dead, but you could at least text me and let me know.
Also,
I was still mad at you for Monday.
Also, teeing off on somebody's junk yesterday too. What a video that was.
That was pretty good. Todd.
I don't know if I'd be let somebody do that.
He's a long ball hitter, and he always has some tricks up his sleeve. He pounds it. Great guy. Met him actually at Bernie Nichols' event that he had in Vegas this year. And from the Toronto area, actually coming up to Ottawa, but yeah, he's fun. But yeah, that was impressive.
Would you let somebody do that to you?
Depends on the person.
No,
that's for sure.
I'd let Tiger do it.
Yeah?
Sure. Okay.
I'd let Tiger do it.
Like a professional golfer.
Yeah.
I don't think I would.
I'd probably let Kay Adams.
Sure. Why not?
I don't think I would. I'd be way too risky. It's way too risky.
I would not let you.
No. Well, yeah, that's smart. Believe me. Oh, I chunked my driver for the first time in a decade. All right, let's quickly talk about our guy Olivier Aubin-Mercier fighting tonight against Bruno Miranda. Big favorite too. -500 at the book right now. He's defending champion. If he wins this, he heads to November 23rd. They haven't picked a location yet to fight for $1 million to win for the second time in a row, be a double champ. He's already beat Hurricane Shane Burgos when he came over in his first fight. Anthony Romero in his second fight knocked him out with a knee. I'll be watching tonight. It's the co-main. I think it's the second last fight to go. Really excited for it though.
Yeah, Burgos is in the main event. So
Clay Collard, I think.
Yeah, I believe that's true. Yeah, I like Mercier here. I mean, 19-5 record, hasn't lost in the PFL yet. Has fought top-notch UFC competition in the past. Obviously, I think he was 7-5 in the UFC before coming over to PFL. -500, steep price. I'm going to stay away from that. But I think he comfortably wins a decision. I don't know if he'll stop Miranda, but Miranda just doesn't have the same type of history. Like, doesn't have the same strength of competition that Mercier has. So I'm gonna lean Mercier here. For sure.
I've actually I've been researching up the PF. I kind of like this whole format, the tournament format.
Tournaments
right?
are great.
It's kind of exciting. Kind of has a Karate Kid feel to it.
Yeah, it brings you back to the old school.
Because
MMA.
UFC 1, they did the 4 fights in a day.
Exactly, the 4 fights in a day.
Which is wild.
UFC and Pride, and what I mean? Like, they would fight. I think I like the style of like fighting in Bellator tech that over initially too when they popped on the scene, and I think I like the format. Maybe not fighting all on the same day, but like I like a few months apart. Strikeforce did that too with the tournament that Cormier won out of nowhere, and just I again, Mercier should cruise tonight.
If I was going to bet, I'd bet Miranda, but I'm not because I want Olivier to win. So it's just too steep a price to put in.
Yeah, it is pricey, but that's because he's the best. So he's going to roll. Hopefully tonight we'll be watching.
I like it.
From the couch at the Conway residence.
Can't wait. You're my buddy.
All right, and last thing we're going to talk about, then we get into the parlay. It is Fyre Fest 2.0. Now, Shawn, I'm going to let you take over here because you're the producer of the show. You came up with the idea. You guys have seen the doc.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the doc, but we have a video first. All right, let's play it first.
We announced our first pre-sale on Sunday.
Is this the guy?
They sold out very, very quickly. And I think this kind of all comes back to, since 2016, Fyre has had 32 billion impressions across social media, which makes us like the most talked about festival in the world. No lineup announced. We did not share the location, and we sold out the first drop almost instantly. So it is just so incredible to finally have the support to make the Fyre dream a reality.
Shawn?
Yeah, I mean, welcome out of prison, Mr. McFarland, right? I mean, what
so
a
what
scam.
did he go for? What was it?
Fraud.
Yeah.
He
Millions and millions of dollars from
$26 million yet, or $20 million yet to forfeit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just like he basically what happened is he paid a bunch of social media people, the Kardashians, Bella Hadid, and
Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah, all the, and basically to promote his event, and like they didn't, those social media people didn't let people know that they were being paid to promote the event.
That's where the hashtag ad came from, maybe?
It's very possible.
Yeah, where you have to
Ja Rule is also a part of it.
Ja Rule,
right?
yeah.
And like the event sort of gets underway, and you get there, and it's like just desolate.
It was on an island, remote island that you had to take like private planes in and boats and yachts to get to this place. And essentially, it was like you were supposed to be living in a Ritz-Carlton for the 4 days or 5 days that it was, and just the pictures that they had were just spectacular. You got there was no water, it was slop, you couldn't go to the bathroom, no running, like nothing. Like this
cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, like,
are the conditions at the Conway House similar? Or?
His I'm very lucky because his wife cooks every morning when I wake up.
Perfect.
No, she's perfect. The baby's perfect. He's just unbearable. But yes, no, this is
not everything can be perfect.
You have to watch this doc.
I will.
Like it is ridiculous. Who is going to go to this?
That's what I'm wondering.
So they're already pre-selling tickets for the second event, but
there's no lineup.
There's no lineup announced. Yeah. Which surprise. It's for next year. So I mean, give them time to fraud you properly.
Before you throw your credit card down.
Yeah.
But like they had some good artists last year, like Blink-182 were on board, Pusha T, Tyga, I think. So they had big names that were linked to the first festival, and then they caught wind very close to when they were supposed to arrive, and they're like, "Hey, we can't like
we're not going.
Within good faith tell you that like this is something that you should go to.
Yeah,
we can't provide you the experience that we would normally provide."
And it was expensive.
Yeah,
it was like $5,000 a pop.
Yeah, I think So I think they've lowered prices, but they're still expensive, and they're still trying to go to the Caribbean.
I will not.
They're still trying to make this into a big thing, and to be honest, like because of all the success, and you heard what he said. I think like the amount of impressions is like crazy, more than any other festival in the entire world. Obviously, the documentaries, people know what this thing is now, and somebody might be willing to give this fraudster some money.
So there will be idiots out there that
to make this actually happen. I think it'll actually happen this time, but like I wouldn't be dumb enough to go.
No.
Like I don't care what you're promising me. Show me that you can do it. Yeah. Because like I don't think
go to Crash My Playa by Luke Bryan. That one's a good one in
forget
Mexico.
That. I'm not spending any money to go to that.
That's really good. Really, really good.
I bet you it's all lawyers who bought tickets so far. This is perfect. I've already got my case ready.
That's smart. That's
All
smart.
right, so let's get into the parlay. Now we didn't talk about it before the show, so you guys are gonna have to go
Ooh,
slow
gonna have
while
to go live on the air.
while I
Ooh.
find. Now, we are live, so we can do. Let's do after 3:30.
Love the
3:30
new app
games.
too. Love the new site.
It's great.
It
Eh?
looks awesome.
Yeah, the new site looks
Looks
great.
awesome.
If you haven't seen it yet, head over to bet99.ca in Ontario, bet99.com elsewhere, and yeah, it's a brand new site launched a couple days ago, and it looks great. It's real sharp, and we got an app launch coming up as well soon. Justin, you're at the other end of the table, so I'll start with you.
You said before 3:30, right?
No,
after
after
3:30,
yeah.
right? You know what? I'm gonna go. The Yankees have been
Putrid.
shit.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with them. The Yankees money line.
No.
I'm gonna go Yankees money line
All
tonight
right,
against
all
the
right.
Nationals.
Cancel
Law of
the
averages.
parlay.
Look, they're playing the Nationals.
Yeah, but Luis Severino has been terrible.
gotta-
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
terrible.
allowed to convince someone not to make their pick. You're locked in.
I'm
all
going
right?
Yankees.
You're locked.
Yankees minus 145.
I'm going the Jays minus 125. You said we can't bet them. I can bet them. Gosman, big
Oh,
win
I'm
last
cheering
night.
for him, but it's tough to be a favorite
No,
against
no,
the best team. But yeah,
I totally agree.
yeah. Okay.
Better pitcher.
All right.
Man, I'm playing this is under too. Like, I don't like this at all.
I have a feeling I'm putting your money into this one. Yeah.
Great.
Rob will find a way
Here's
to.
$5. That's all I've got. I'm gonna go with the Astros to remain hot here. Chris Sale hasn't been great since returning from injury. You only have to pay a price of about minus 115. It's at 8 o'clock, Rob, so it fits under the parameters.
Where is it?
Jose
Can't find
Urquidy
it.
has
the
not
last
been great
game of the
either.
night, Rob.
It's one of the last games of the night, yeah. Before Game 2 of the Angels and Reds series, but yeah,
Oh, I'm under now and next, and not the league.
Ooh,
so-
there we go. All right. Yeah, so
I'm
again,
new to this platform too, everybody.
Yeah,
All
You're
right.
Billy Fry.
Here we go.
I don't want to see it happen. I would have had my best bet of the day would be the Mariners run line. I think they cruise again today, but that's at 2 o'clock, so I can't pick it. So I'm gonna go with the Houston Astros to keep that wild card.
I was on the Miami Marlins yesterday against Blake Snell. They were massive dogs, and I'm going to go with him again, plus 115.
Sandy
Alcantara.
Because he's pitching much better, and also Padres don't win baseball games.
Did you say they're plus 115?
Yeah.
And massive dog?
No, yesterday.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because Blake Snell was on the mound, and
I was like, I gotta teach you a little how this works.
Yeah, it's not my first day.
Betting 101 with Matthew Barnaby.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have that. Professor
We did.
Barney,
Yes.
Betting 101. It's on YouTube if you want to head over to the Bet99
Did you have like a
channel.
smart sweater and glasses and stuff?
No,
Nah.
no. But the information was accurate because I wrote it.
Perfect.
All right, that's it for today's show. Thanks everybody. Justin, Shawn, Barney. This is your last time in studio for a little bit,
Yep.
but we'll be at the golf course tomorrow. Justin will be your host tomorrow. But for now, thanks very much for watching. The Bet99's The Parleh Show, and Justin, he'll see you tomorrow.